And good morning, folks. It's so good to be with y'all this morning.
Caught me.
Caught you.
I was just, yes. Good morning.
You know, last week we kind of reversed the show around a little bit because we had a little four-legged visitor, and so we're going to do that again this week because
he's real
Winston
active.
is real active and very verbal and vocal over here.
And
so
he's just as sweet
and
as
he's
thing
precious. Ever. He's precious. So I'm Nancy Kaysen. I'm your host for today, and my co-host is Brene Beatty. Retired, volunteer at large, and I have a little gift shop called the Red Ribbon down on Inman Street, and we're having a huge summer sale and a huge Christmas in July sale, so come see me. And we'll talk about some other things that are going to happen, but we want to go ahead and get Winston on because, like I say, he's very active. Winston, they want to see you on TV. He is absolutely precious. This is Nancy Pearl, and she's from the Black Fox
Pet Resort.
I knew it was something resort, but I didn't. Black Fox Pet Resort. So, Nancy, welcome you and Winston. It's so good to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Winston. He's absolutely adorable.
Well, Winston was found by a young man wrapped up on the side of the road in a plastic bag with his litter mates. And Winston, as far as I know, is the only survivor.
Oh.
Thus the name Winston, after Churchill, who never gave up.
You're right.
We fed him formula for about the first 4 weeks of his life, and
about every 2 or 3 hours?
Every 2 or 3 hours,
yes.
Winston.
That's dedication.
And Winston is doing very well, and Winston would like a forever home.
Very good.
Yes.
Somebody with lots of love and energy and the ability to take him to training.
Yes. And if you have a pool or you live next to the river, Winston would love you.
Creek, yes.
Yeah, a creek.
Yeah.
Or even a kiddie pool in your backyard.
Yeah.
Winston would love. How old do you think Winston is?
We believe he's about 12 weeks old.
Okay.
Just in view of when his eyes opened and he could hear, we gauge it from that time.
And he is part Black Lab. Do we think he's all Black Lab or?
Well, he's a pretty good imitation of a Black Lab.
He is. He's got a lot of characteristics of a full-blown Black Lab and just
And
absolutely.
he's got big feet.
Yes, he has big feet.
He's not going to be a tiny puppy.
And they're webbed, so I'm
Yes.
sure he could
He
swim
would love
very
to
well.
swim. He would love to.
Look at that.
All right. Now,
Okay.
Nancy, tell us a little bit about the pet resort.
Well, we have been there for 11 years.
Wow.
And we absolutely love what we do. We take dogs swimming. We have picnics. Picnics in the park with photos. We have nature trail walks, and we do a lot of extra things with the dogs. And we
Don't
just
mind
I know.
That's right.
we
Go
just
ahead.
really
So
can't believe we get paid for what we do.
I started to say, so if I had a dog that I thought, boy, Winston, that I thought needed someone to
If you're
resort
going-
him
yep.
for a while, then
I like that, Nancy.
and I'm going to resort myself, so I want you to resort the dog while I'm gone.
Absolutely, your dog needs a vacation
Yes.
just like you do.
Yes. And so
So if you're going on vacation or just have to go out of town for a while, we're more than happy to take the dogs and have fun with them.
Now, do you also do daily? I have a friend. Yes, Winston. I have a friend who takes her dog to playtime some. Do you all do that too?
We do that. We're a little bit off the beaten path for daily playtime, but we do have we do have some regular playtime visitors.
Okay. And Brene is aggravating Winston and going to college. Yes. But you all can see what an active little puppy, not little, what an active puppy Winston is. And you would be wonderful with children, and he still has puppy teeth, so he wants to chew on everything.
And he loves other dogs.
And he loves other dogs.
Yes, I have 3 dogs of my own, plus he's seen the kennel dogs, and he really, really loves
Does he
other dogs.
do well with cats, or do you have any cats?
I don't
around?
know. Don't
Okay.
have cats. We have a barn cat, but Winston hasn't discovered that yet.
Okay.
Now, if anyone were
precious.
interested in adopting Winston, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can call me at Black Fox Pet Resort, and the number is 423-472-0307.
Okay, great. We'll do that again for you folks in case, because Brene and I did not remind you to get out your paper and pencil. So
Time to
we
do it
will-
now.
And do it now, because because we have turned the show around a little bit, and we usually remind you first. That's it. Winston, you are just absolutely precious, folks. He's
He
absolutely
is.
precious.
I wish you could see the close-up of his
Little face,
his
is
expression.
done, especially with Brene's hand in his
I
mouth.
know. It's me. I'm messing with
and
him.
he's just there. Winston, smile. We've got the camera on you. Look at the
out
camera,
here,
Winston.
Look out there.
Nope. Oh, well, that's close, Winston. That's close. Okay, and Nancy also wanted to talk with us today about, we want to talk about the resort, and we also wanted to talk about
Major project.
major project, and I've got a flyer.
Troy Spencer. Yes.
All right.
Troy Spence, our EMS director, is
Spence, not Spencer. Sorry, Troy. Go ahead.
he has set up an account for donations. If there were any lessons to learn from Katrina, which of course there were, it's that the majority of people, and particularly the government, have realized the necessity of planning for pets and planning and accountability in times of emergency, because it influences our behavior. You know, there were like 44% of the people that didn't evacuate for Katrina stayed behind because of their pets.
Right.
And
I would.
Yeah.
Well, we would have when we had major, yeah.
I'm giving my dogs
They were
up,
told
yeah.
they couldn't take them.
Right.
Now, in Bradley County, we have plans for a pet-friendly shelter, but we need this CAMET, I hope, that I'm raising money for. It's CAMET stands for Companion Animal Mobile Emergency Trailer.
Oh, wow.
And it would go to wherever people are being sheltered if they have to evacuate, and be set up to take care of the animals in a safe way so that the people actually can take care of their own animals, freeing up the emergency personnel to do what they need to do in the emergency. So the CAMET is actually $18,000, and it comes complete with everything necessary to take care of little guys like this and big guys as well.
Right.
And to keep them safe with their people and their owners through emergencies.
Now, how many animals will it house during an emergency?
It is set up to house 50.
Wow.
And we could increase that as well, but I'm aiming for the 50 at this point in
Right.
time. Because obviously we can't say we don't have disasters anymore since they've
Oh, isn't that
happened
the
in our
truth?
backyard.
For the last 2 years,
And I
Exactly.
think the state of North Carolina has several of these.
The
don't they?
state of North Carolina has 26 CAMET trailers. Georgia
Wow.
has quite a few. Tennessee has none. And I've
Get
talked
with it, Tennesseans.
Yes, absolutely.
So
and I want
Bradley County would be the first.
Yes.
I want Bradley County to have the gold standard in emergency care for pets.
Wow.
So
That would be
So-
that would be wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
So if you want to give money for this, where do you give? What do you do?
you can make a check out to Bradley County and make it for the CAMET fund.
Okay.
And I can take that, or it can be taken directly to the EMS office, but we are attempting to get that paid for. It's just, you know, like we have life insurance and health insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
This is insurance not just for our pets, but for the people who might not evacuate in a time of emergency
That is true.
because of the
because
pet.
of their pets. Right.
Yeah. 18% of those people that stayed behind in Katrina died, either because they wouldn't leave their pets or because going back into an unsafe area to retrieve the pets they were made to leave behind.
Winston,
So,
you
we
are
don't want that to
something else.
happen here.
No, we do
No,
not
we
want that
don't.
to happen. Absolutely not. You were talking about insurance on people. Actually, when I had a set of dogs that I had insurance on them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So, you know, they weren't that special. Well, really, they
To
kind
you,
of
they
sort
were.
of, they really were to me. And the puppies from that special little group paid my way through college. So I wanted to be sure that
Yeah.
my little poodles were okay, you know, and if they weren't okay, that I could afford
Take care of
to,
them,
yeah,
exactly.
afford to get another one if anything happened. So I know there's insurance out there for pets, which, you know, y'all are probably not as crazy as Brene and I are. So just, you know, don't worry about it. But Winston still wants to play with Brene.
Yes,
He's
and Brene wants to play
absolutely
with him.
adorable, folks.
Yes.
He really is adorable. And would be such a cute. Now he's got those little puppy teeth
Yes.
that are
So
just sharp as
they
little
are.
pins.
Well, yes, they are.
Yeah,
we
and
will,
now,
yeah.
and Brene's got him all fired up, and Nancy now has to try to calm him down.
I know.
So, all right, now let's talk about Black Fox Resort just a little bit more
Yes.
because people may be interested. Yes, in coming and seeing Winston and also
Yes.
bringing their dog
Yes.
to vacation.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have great facilities. They're air conditioned. We have indoor, outdoor suites. They can go to an outside patio. It's completely covered. Even if it's raining, they can go out and watch squirrels and chipmunks and have a good time. And we love taking them for walks. Activity, I think, is the main thing that makes boarding a less boring experience for
Right.
them.
Right.
So we are big into activities, and we also have a lot of geriatric pets that require medication and that sort of thing. We're more than happy to take care of their needs and give them a nice, safe place to stay.
And Winston's going to chew through the leash.
Yes, and escape.
Yes, one of my dogs did that one time when I had them out
Oh, dear.
And that was not good, because
No.
then you have to run the dog down. Now, Nancy, tell me where you're located. Black Fox should be an indication.
Yes.
This is true.
But,
This
Not
is true.
always.
that's right.
That's right.
Well, we are in the Black Fox area. We're about 5 minutes from Black Fox Elementary School.
Okay.
But our address is 700 Tunnel Hill Road, and we're on the web at blackfoxpetresort.com, and all the information regarding charges and services are on that website.
Wow, that's great.
Do you do this by yourself, or do you have staff?
No,
or-
I have a wonderful staff. Rebecca Harris has been with me for 7 years, and she and I do it. My husband helps, my daughter helps. Actually, when I get to have a vacation, my daughter and her husband come out and they take over along with Rebecca. She's really a wonderful help.
Well,
So, how many dogs can you take? How
Well,
many suites do you have?
yeah.
I love that.
I have 16 suites, but it depends on multiple dog families. A lot of people have 4 and 5 dogs, and they want them to stay together.
Oh, my goodness.
And
Okay, I
so
hadn't thought about that.
the most we've ever had is 40 dogs and 4 cats.
Wow,
So
yeah.
I only take cats from dog families because they are in the same room, though they don't contact each other.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to traumatize anybody's kitty by
Right.
having them not used to dogs.
Now, tell us again your phone number. I'm really bad about asking people their phone numbers, and then, because one of the next guests coming on, we will talk about that. But tell us your phone number.
It's 423-472-0307.
Okay, in case you all need to call. And how far ahead do people need to book with you?
Well, usually the school teachers are my best ahead bookers. They look at their schedule in September and they book for fall break and Christmas
Oh, wow.
and Thanksgiving. And I have bookings right now for next June for weddings and things like that.
Oh, goodness.
But, you know, sometimes spur of the moment works just fine.
Okay, I was going to ask if spur of the moment, if
Sure.
all of a sudden I found out I'm going somewhere on
Sure.
vacation, and yeah, very
Yep.
good.
At-
Well, Nancy, we really appreciate you and Winston being on with us today, and this is exciting about the EMS
Yes.
yes.
truck
yeah.
van,
I
little
think
mobile
that'll be
unit
great for Bradley County.
I think it will be too. So we need to be sure that's it, Winston.
He does too.
And as we sign off and get ready to go to commercial, Winston was signing off
Can
for
I
you.
talk
So
about the
Nancy,
show?
thank you so much, and we appreciate it. And Winston, we hope you find a really nice forever home. We really, really do. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. We're going to take a little quick commercial break, and we'll come on with our next guest. So do not go away.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
And we're back,
Yes,
and again,
we
we're
are.
chit-chatting during the commercial. One of these
dear.
days, we're going to watch these commercials. I promise we are, but we're back, and
We have such neat guests.
we
That's,
do,
That's
and
why
We do.
we're
you know,
always
and we do a
chatting.
little off-screen to
Yes.
just. Yes, we were having a good time.
I was barking. I just want to fit in. That's all. That's right.
And our guest.
Are you gonna play with me? or-
Okay, we're totally out of hand here. Totally out of hand. Our next guest is Skip White. He's the new associate minister at Broad Street United Methodist Church. My associate minister. Skip, great to have you on with us today.
Good to
And
be
he's
here.
an
Thank you.
author.
And he is an author. We're
I
going to
am.
talk about that in just a minute. But I had my minister on, and who told my age. Did anybody tell you that?
Oh, did he?
Told my age. Well, I won't tell you that.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
He's in
So,
big trouble now.
Skip, where did you come from?
Well, I grew up in North Dakota
Yes.
on a ranch
How
up
did you
there.
get to-
So
That's it. That's
Well,
That's an interesting
well,
story.
yeah. See, I've been punished. No, no. I did my graduate work at Duke, and I just wanted to get out of the Midwest and live somewhere else, and so I did that. And I moved to North Carolina and realized that the rest of the world does not live through 30 below winters.
And snow.
And
there's
snow, well, yeah, I wish it was that high. It's like taller than
Yeah.
us most times. And so about my second year there, I went home for Christmas break, and I went outside and my mustache froze. I'm serious. And I just thought, I don't have to, I have a college degree. I don't have to live like this, you know? So I decided to stay in the South. And so, and there's Waffle House down here,
Oh,
which they don't have.
Oh,
in
y'all
the-
don't have Waffle House in North Dakota?
No.
Really?
Oh, my
Once you
gosh.
taste Waffle House, why would you move away?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I
My
like it.
parameter of where I was going to live was the circle of Waffle House. So I centered in on East. I had friends that were from East Tennessee, and so I moved here and lived in Blount County for the bulk of my 8 years in Tennessee, and then just got moved to Cleveland. So
Oh,
And you came to us from,
a little town called Friendsville, and it's
know
just
where that
outside of
I do too.
Maryville. Yeah, and I remember driving by Friendsville one day on my way, to the interstate in Lenore City, and there was a sign that says Friendsville City Limits, and there was nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing by that sign, like not even another sign. That's
Right.
how barren that is. And so I thought, God, please don't move me to Friendsville, because I'd been living in Maryville at the time, and then God moved me to Friendsville. So
Be careful
'cause-
what you
yes,
ask
exactly.
for.
So now I say, God, please don't move me to Las Vegas. That would be awful. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
So that's how we lived in Friendsville for 4 years and had a very good experience there, and then got the call to move to Cleveland. So we're excited about that.
and we're excited to have you because one thing that I found about Skip is he preaches short sermons. Very good sermons, but they're short.
By
So
short, I have to defend myself. They're 15 minutes.
they are. They're 15
It's
minutes.
not like I'm up there for 3.
No, no.
but they're pithy.
Right, they're to the point.
They are. They're
So-
to the point, and they're wonderful sermons. And that way we can beat the Baptist to Cracker Barrel.
Exactly, because that's important.
And it is important. It really is important. Now, you're married and your wife.
I am married to my wife.
Yes, and her name is Victoria.
Yes, her
and-
name is Victoria, and we have one son, Charlie.
Right.
He turned 3 last Saturday.
Oh, that's a
So
cute
you're
one.
out of the
Yes.
terrible twos.
Well, yes, and well, I hope so. It's only been a week into the
Gotcha.
And they don't do
3,
it
so.
exactly on the birthdays,
Yeah,
you know.
well,
It's-
we'll see. I think they're just gonna be terrible at a larger, frame. So.
And then when they get to be teenagers, you
We took him
deal
to
with
get
it.
his 3-year appointment, get measured and everything, and the doctor's words were, "Your son is ginormous." When you start
Ooh.
combining words, that's
Ginormous.
ginormous. So.
Okay.
And he is really big, so.
And your wife is
Could be a
fluent
football player.
in Japanese.
She is fluent in Japanese, yes.
And-
she works as a kind of a liaison between the Japanese expatriates at Denso, and kind of helps them navigate America and translate and that sort of thing. And she does written translation for Denso as well. So she's
And East Tennessee is really different from Japan, I would imagine.
yes. Well, she grew up in Seattle.
Yeah.
And then
But I mean, I'm talking about for the Japanese
yes.
expatriates.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well,
Yes.
I was trying to make it about my wife, but
Oh, sorry. No,
Hey,
I'm
we
saying-
Turn that back around, no.
digress. Skip, we
I
digress
understand,
on
yeah,
the
We're all
show.
over the place. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about her services are really needed
Yes,
because, I mean,
absolutely.
it is
Absolutely.
culture shock probably.
yes, and just understanding the nuances that we use in our language.
Oh, yes.
If something really great happens, we say that's cool. Well, that doesn't translate well, like, not cool. cool. It's actually pretty warm. So, just helping them understand some of the colloquialisms that we use are important. So,
Now, you are an author,
yes.
and not of a religious book.
No, it is.
Tone.
Oh, it is.
Thanks, but thanks for reading it.
It is.
Appreciate the prep work on your part.
I'll just tell you right now. Randy told me it was a Western.
Well, it is.
Okay.
It is, yes. But it's also a spiritual, devotional guide too. So.
And the name of it is?
Carry Me Not. And it comes from one of the episodes in the book. One of the main characters is a young man who's special needs, that we would consider him special needs. And he prays the Lord's Prayer and says, instead of lead me not into temptation, he says, carry me not into temptation. So that's where the name of the book comes from. It's less about cowboying and gunfighting and that sort of thing as it is about community. And it's a story about basically my hometown, which nothing of interest ever happened. I mean, I remember going through my grandmother's house after she passed, and she had kept stacks of newspapers that people that generation did. And one of the newspapers, the headline was, Betty Ruth goes to Bismarck and runs into a skunk on the way, and that was headline news in my hometown. So, I mean, nothing important ever happened in this town. So my premise is, the bulk of the Western experience would be that nothing important ever happened in their towns. Very few of the towns are like Abilene or that, where they're infamous, and a lot of that is made up anyway. And so my thought was, what would happen if a murder took place in a town like my hometown where nothing important ever happened? These people are completely unprepared to deal with such a thing. They don't have investigators and they don't have experience. So what would they do, and how would they react? So it's an emotional look. It's a murder mystery. Who did it? How do we solve it? How do we prove it? And it's also a spiritual guide about a young pastor coming to his first appointment in the Dakotas, which he doesn't want to be there, and so he has to not only adjust to where he is, but also help solve this mystery. So it's
That sounds neat. Now, how do we get a copy of that?
you can go. It's online at Amazon.
Okay.
And it's also in Barnes and Noble. So you can get it in physical copy. It is also a Kindle and a Nook. So if you're doing that, you can do Kindle and Nook, and just buy it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's called Carry Me Not. So
How neat. I'm going to order it on Amazon.
please do.
I don't do Kindle and Nook. That has something to do with iTuube, doesn't it? Doesn't that have
YouTube.
So I don't do
Neither one, but thanks for playing.
That's right. See, I did skip. You weren't here, but we were iTubing one day, and I found out it's not iTube, it's YouTube, and it's an iPhone. So I'm totally, completely computer illiterate. Okay.
I call myself a techno weenie.
There you go. That's
Can't
true
get
too.
it done.
Technology.
So you have actually been in Cleveland for roughly a month.
We moved here in the middle of May.
Oh, that's
so we've
right.
been
You
here
came
for
early.
we came
Right.
a couple months, or about a month and a half early, which is absolutely the way to go, because a lot of my friends were packing in a week and trying to get everything settled, and we packed and unpacked, and we're here and just kind of hanging out before we started. So it was nice to hit the ground running. So.
Absolutely. See, Methodist ministers, for those of you Baptist and Church of God people out there and all you others that don't know this, that you have like a week to get packed up and moved to your new assignment, appointment. And so you all were really smart to go
Yep.
ahead and do what you did.
Yeah.
How are you finding things at Broad Street? Now, we're not going to call any names or anything. We're not going to say like or dislike, but just making adjustments. Are you
Because I brought a list.
Oh, hey, you got a list. Okay.
I wouldn't bring a list.
And he's checking it twice.
Right.
No, but you're adjusting fine to us?
Yes. It's a very warm community. It's fun to be in a church that looks at ministry in a progressive way and wants to do exciting things. And I think the United Methodist Church and I think all churches are adjusting themselves to a new world, in the sense that the economics of being church and the mission of the church is different than it has ever been before. And we being the United, not just the United Methodist Church, but the Universal Church, we had better recognize that and get on board with that, or we'll be closing our doors sooner rather than later. Broad Street is finding itself in that world, and I think that's an exciting place to be, because who we are as a church is to be determined. We don't have to fall into any kind of category of church anymore, because the world has changed around us so much that our mission and our vision for who we're going to be as a church We don't even know what that's going to look like yet. And I'm excited about that. I think that's a fantastic place to be, as opposed to being a place that says, you know, here's how you're going to be for the next 150 years, and you're locked into it. You know, the United Methodist Church, and I think churches all, you know, across denominational lines, have found themselves in a place where they say, we don't know what we're going to look like in 100 years, but the things that we're doing today are going to help shape ministry 100 years from now. And that means we have to be open to new vision, we have to be open to new practices, and we have to be new places for new people. Even a place like Broad Street, that's a fortress in downtown, it has to open its doors as a new place for new people to experience and worship God. And we're doing that. And it's an exciting place to be. And it's an exciting congregation to worship with and to minister with.
And it is. And Broad Street's 175 years old.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's sometimes you have to push and pull just a little.
We like to say we're a historic church with a new vision.
That's great.
And
that's great.
that acknowledges our history and our heritage as a faithful place to worship God in the past. But it also says we also know that there's a future out there that hasn't been defined for us yet, and we want to look forward to it. So,
when Preacher Randy was on, I asked him the phone number of Broad Street Church, which Randy and I both caught a lot of flack on at church on Sunday morning. I found out how many people watch the show. And,
more than 8.
So, Skip, what's our phone number there at Broad Street?
Let's hope I get this right, because I've got it in my pocket. 476-5586.
That's it. Okay. See, I memorized it last week and, after that episode. But Skip, thank you so much for being on with me.
Thank you for having me.
I
This
really
was
do
very fun.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We've got something exciting happening for Fifth Sunday, which is coming up this Sunday. So
Correct.
I'll mention that later in the. But we want to invite people to come to Broad Street for that. And Acoustic Mayhem.
Acoustic Mayhem.
Yes, is going to be at Johnston Woods
Yes,
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
And I will announce that so the public can come and call that number at the church to get your directions
Absolutely.
to Johnston Woods.
Absolutely. Or you can just look up Johnston Woods online, and there's directions on the website.
Okay, because it's not easy to find.
It's right out South Lee Highway.
It is.
And then
It's
you
right
turn,
out South Lee Highway.
Turn at the lighthouse.
Yeah,
and you
turn
turn
right
at the lighthouse. But
and then
that's it. But it's a wonderful facility.
Then you.
And Skip, I am, as one of your parishioners, am thrilled you're here.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
it's going to be
Thank you.
great.
We are thrilled to be here.
And of course, I'm thrilled with Randy. Randy and I are not sharing any college stories at the church because we were at Tennessee Wesleyan together, and that's the extent of what we're saying. And but
so
but
y'all
it's-
met and you have this pact.
Well,
I
yes.
won't tell if you
Yes,
won't tell.
we did. Well, and before that, I grew up next door to the minister we had before that, so we had a little pact too. We called it the pinky swear. You know, you don't tell. But
I understand.
But Carry Me Not on Amazon or Kindle or Nook.
Oh, no, you can go to Amazon.com
Yeah.
or BarnesandNoble.com.
Barnes and Noble. All right.
And buy
And you
them
can
either
get
place.
it.
And buy them, and then you can get it.
But on those two websites, they're available in both
Oh.
hard copy and in
Oh,
virtual
okay.
copy.
Now, see, you see how
Yes.
how literate I am about this. But we're going to have a great website at Broad Street. We're going to
Yep.
upgrade some things there, and we have some really neat things because Skip is terribly computer literate. So we got a lot of neat things that are going to
Yep.
happen there. So
It'll be fun to do that.
any last minute little
That's right. That's
any
right.
last minute little thing you'd like to say, Skip, before
No,
we go
just
to
thanks for
commercial?
having me. Hopefully I can come back if I, remember a different
You
number.
can.
me
You
any
can. Phone
time.
number. You tell Randy
There
you
we
did
go.
better than
I
him.
will. Oh, trust me, I will.
Yeah, I think, and Lionel will too. Folks, we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you. Skip, thank you so
Thank you.
much
Thank
for
you
being
for
on.
having me. Appreciate it.
And
Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. I'm a partner here at the law firm of Logan Thompson, and I've been practicing law for about 25 years. I focus primarily on complex litigation cases involving serious personal injury. To establish liability, it's important that we thoroughly investigate your case. And we're fortunate here at Logan Thompson to have a full-time investigator on staff. And once we establish liability, next we turn to the issue of damages. Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to be compensated for 5 elements of damages. The first is property damage, and then your medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a family member have been injured in an automobile accident and would like to sit down and discuss with us what you're entitled to, please give us a call at your convenience. There's no charge for the initial consultation. I'm Robert Thompson with the law firm Logan Thompson, and we'd be honored to help you.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
And we are back, folks. And wasn't Skip fun?
He was.
He really was fun.
You know,
he really-
he's just not, when you think preacher.
That's right.
He just, you know, and we shouldn't stereotype.
No.
I mean, that's for sure. But he is just so not like what you would
Yes.
think. He was so nice.
Very,
Pleasant,
very
fun,
nice.
yeah.
Yes,
I- oh,
fun guy.
I
and
may
a
have
published
to come
artist.
and hear-
You should come to our church.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful time there. Now,
Other
going to
than
our...
at midnight mass on
We do
Christmas.
not do midnight mass on... well, we do.
At Christmas?
You do that. Anyway, we digressed again. And we have with us
Midnight
Don
service.
Bendrum, who is from Tudor's Music. He
Yes.
has Tudor's Music. But the reason he's on today is to talk about the Greater Cleveland Community Bands
Right.
and our trip to Gettysburg.
Which is such an
So,
honor to
it
be
is.
invited.
It is. So,
folks.
tell them if they don't know, Don.
To fill you guys in, this past spring concert, we wrote a program that was about Cleveland. At the time,
It wasn't we. It was Don wrote the program, and it was wonderful. Excuse me. Go ahead.
and what it's about is about Cleveland at the time of the Civil War, because this is the years of the commemoration. And in the course of that research, originally I was just thinking, okay, I'm going to do a chronology of what was going on. But in the course of doing the research, I found out a rather interesting story about downtown. And so the program that I built was built around that story. And I'm sure you have noticed the monument that stands over there at the corner of Ocoee Street and Broad Street.
Which used to be Lee Street.
Lee Street.
Yes.
And
And
8th Street,
Eighth,
that
yes.
little where you have to kind of jog across and wait and kind of to go across
Yeah.
again. That monument there was placed in 1911. Before 1911, 50 years before that, a gentleman by the name of Hazard Bearer was shot and wounded at that same exact corner, the same spot. He was a Union soldier.
That would make him a Yankee.
Yes.
And the citizens of Cleveland, and Mrs. Hardwick in particular, took him into her home and tried to care for him, hoping that he would recover. He unfortunately didn't recover, but he was buried at the enclosure, which is at the Fort Hill Cemetery, with the Confederates and given a headstone. And that is an ironic story. And that is what our program is about, because the program is entitled One Nation Under God. And if the blood of one man being marked by the blood of many isn't about one nation coming together, I didn't know what was. So our musical story is about that. In the course of newspaper articles and things like that, I was contacted by a company who's under contract by the National Park Service to provide musical entertainment through the commemoration at Gettysburg. Now, these things go out like popcorn. You can get an invitation to Uncle Fred's birthday party in Ungangwa, and it be an exclusive honor for your group. I mean, that's just the way it works. So I did some homework, and come to find out these guys were actually legit. They actually are under contract by the Park Service to provide this entertainment. I contacted them and asked them, okay, so why us in Little Cleveland, Tennessee? We are not professionals. We're not a high school group, which is usually the target of these kinds of things. We're not a college group. We're just a bunch of amateurs who like to play for our neighbors, who have this story that we put together. And he says to me, he says, well, do you have a copy of the script, and is it copyrighted? I said, yes, I do. He says, well, normally what we have set up with the Park Service is that you're allowed to play 20 minutes. So you set up all that stuff to go on tour and play a 20-minute show. And he said, but your program sounded much more interesting than that. Can you send me the script, and I'll bring it to the Park Service? So I sent him the script, got an email back. They want us to do the entire 72-minute program at Gettysburg, at the Majestic Theater, which is the same place where Reba McEntire, John Tesh, and I can't tell you how many hundreds of other really famous people have played at.
Yeah.
The stage will be available to us to perform in its entirety April 1865, One Nation Under God in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Wow. I've got goosebumps.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, that's fabulous.
And so I was totally surprised by this. You know,
This really is an honor.
it's an honor.
It is.
So
It's a huge
come
honor.
to find out, not only are we going to do this program, but we are the only band invited by the National Park Service to perform at Gettysburg.
Oh.
So now we've got this burden of not only representing Cleveland, Tennessee, which has phenomenal music programs in its schools,
Yeah.
a phenomenal program at Lee University. I mean, these people are stompers compared to what we're doing. But now we have the burden of representing the state of Tennessee
Right.
as well. So there is some expense involved. Right now, in our membership, we have about 40 people in our members who are committed to go, that believe that they can personally raise the funds to go. We want to make it free to everybody.
Yeah.
We really do. We think that this is such an honor that businesses, especially our more robust businesses in town, especially those who are enthusiasts of this era, the Civil War era, should reach down and find a buck or two and donate it to the Greater Cleveland Community Band to represent this city and this county at this
And this state.
right, and this
Yes,
state
and this state.
at this
That's
event. We're looking at going in June of next year for between 3 to 5 days. We haven't quite got all that hashed out yet. It's dependent upon when people can get off from work, and we've got to convince a lot of employers that this is a worthy thing.
Yeah.
Because again, not only do I want it to be free, but I don't want anybody to actually have to give up their vacation time to do it. So we're looking for cooperation from employers. We're looking for cooperation from family. We're looking for handouts and help from businesses and employers to make this thing happen.
This isn't a handout and help. This is an investment in the community.
Absolutely,
You know,
it is.
It really
It
is.
is. Because
This is
the,
an investment.
The tourism dollars and everything that can come back from us being at Gettysburg.
Oh,
is
yeah.
And to know what that monument really means.
Yeah.
At that
People
corner,
drive by it.
Drive by it all the
I've
time.
driven by it my whole life.
and you're sitting there trying to look around it because of the traffic.
Right.
Yeah,
That's it,
But it
yeah.
doesn't.
Absolutely.
And even if you read on it, you don't know the story.
Right.
I never knew that.
Well, nobody did. I am convinced after reading through the historical record that's available at the library that the connection of Mr. Barrett's death and the connection of this monument was never made. Never made. Except for 100 years and 150 years later.
Yeah.
You know, did somebody sit there and go, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
that monument's where this guy died. It's where he was shot
A
and
Union
wounded.
soldier died, and then
A
we
U-
put a Confederate monument up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of how Tennessee was. We were
Oh, yeah.
divided. And
Bradley
Bradley
County is,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally
especially,
divided.
Yeah.
And now, Don has already laughed about this, but my husband has already said that he will pay my total fee to go to Gettysburg, and I'm last chair flautist, by the way, and if he didn't have to go. Which, that's okay, wasn't it, Don?
No,
I mean, we don't care. We don't care if you don't go, Flavis. But
Really,
I'm
Flavis?
going, okay?
Yeah.
So, but what we're trying to do with this fundraising endeavor we're doing, we have a few high school students
We have high
that
school
play
students
with
to
us.
go with us, and we do need to fill in the blanks. What we'd like to do is to create a situation where we have an honor group, that we will send out a special invitation. And I don't want those invitations to be based on whether or not that person's going to be able to pay. I want it to be based on whether or not they can play.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so we're looking at inviting Lee University students to attend with us. We're looking at asking juniors going to be seniors or seniors graduating from the high schools to go with us. You know, and because this is a once in a lifetime kind of event.
Absolutely it is.
When I was in high school, the big deal was the bicentennial, 1776 to 1976. I was honored by being able to represent the nation on a band tour. We actually took 5 bands all together that toured Europe and the communist bloc. It was a cultural
Wow,
exchange at the time during our bicentennial years. And that was quite an honor to attend that. The State Department helped offset those costs. We don't have anybody to help us offset these costs. It's
Governor
gonna
Haslam.
yeah.
See, I think we need
Yeah.
to contact Governor Haslam and Kevin and
And
Mike Dell
Eric
and
and-
Eric.
yeah,
And we need to contact some of those people since we are representing the state of Tennessee.
Yes, exactly.
And
So-
now we're going to play once at the Majestic to do the whole
right,
show.
do the whole show at the Majestic.
And then haven't we been invited for smaller groups?
We'll do a couple of short, like, teaser concerts in Washington, D.C. and at Gettysburg, the park, as teasers for the program. And then probably do the program either on a Thursday or a Friday night. We haven't quite got all of that all figured out yet because we're still building this thing. We still have to
Right.
see how many people are going to go and put this all together. But we'll be, and then the stage band has been asked to play at a veterans hospital.
How neat.
So
It is,
there's an opportunity for the stage band, the Greater Cleveland Community Bands. I mean, that's what we are.
And that has an S on the end
Yes.
of it. Bands.
Because we're
There
more
are
than a
multiple,
concert band.
yes.
We have the concert band, we have the stage band, and we have the smaller ensembles all included in that. Basically, we're a roving music department
Right, right.
whose home happens to be in the showroom floor of a music store.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, folks. If you need a small group, an ensemble, anything,
Oh, yeah.
you know, give them the phone number.
So 472-TOOT, 472-8668.
Toot, 472-TOOT. I love it.
And
And
that'll connect
Don
you with,
can
with
book
us,
you, and, you know, whatever the fee is on that, y'all
Yeah,
are contributing that back.
Right. The stage band is 24 people. And out of that, matter of fact, on Saturday we're playing at the Museum Center for the arts.
Oh, yeah,
it's-
okay.
for
I'll
the
be
arts-
there.
we've
Renee and I'll
got-
probably
Yeah,
both be
we
there.
We've
will.
got a quartet that's going to play. In that quartet is Sean Sneed, Mika Roberts Sean on tenor saxophone, a phenomenal saxophone player, graduated from Lee University.
And Mika's
He's-
one heck of a drummer.
Mika's a great drummer. Mika Roberts on drums, Sheffy Gregory on bass, and Damien Sidopoulos on guitar. And that's our local talent. And that's the quartet that's going to play. So those guys can play just basically any style in any way, and it's going to be really nice.
It
Really
will be.
nice.
All right, now, 472-TOOT.
472. Give me a
If
call.
anyone would like to make a donation too, you can write a check out, and you are a 501c3.
Yeah, yeah.
So it would be
It's
tax
tax
deductible.
deductible, yeah.
So drop by Tutors and help us go to Gettysburg. Don, thank you so much
Oh,
for
you're
coming
welcome.
on today. I
Thanks for
appreciate it.
asking.
And y'all are going to hear this a lot more, okay?
Yes.
And we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and Renee and I'll be back to tell you everything you need to know about this weekend, and especially about the Arts Festival at the museum.
Arts Festival gonna be
so
fun.
that y'all can go hear the quartet,
The little quartet.
the
yeah.
little quartet.
Yes.
So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Get your pencil and paper.
That's right.
Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. I'm a partner here at the law firm of Logan Thompson, and I've been practicing law for about 25 years. I focus primarily on complex litigation cases involving serious personal injury. To establish liability, it's important that we thoroughly investigate your case. And we're fortunate here at Logan Thompson to have a full-time investigator on staff. And once we establish liability, next we turn to the issue of damages. Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to be compensated for 5 elements of damages. The first is property damage, and then your medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a family member have been injured in an automobile accident and would like to sit down and discuss with us what you're entitled to, please give us a call at your convenience. There's no charge for the initial consultation. I'm Robert Thompson, the law firm Logan Thompson, and we'd be honored to help you.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
And we are back. And
Yes,
haven't we
we
had
are.
fun today?
Yes.
We have had
Was
some
that not the
magnificent guests.
cutest little
Winston was the
puppy?
cutest puppy, and then Skip was just great, and Dawn is exciting.
I know, and that story was interesting. I mean,
is.
I was
It
born
is.
and reared here.
I was not.
And
So-
I never knew that. I drive by that monument all the
I
time.
know it. I know it. Now, this is the part where you get out your paper and your pencil,
Yes.
and we tell you things. But first of all, folks, I want to congratulate the Banner. They won all kinds of awards at their national convention. I'm telling you, folks, it was amazing. Lucy won awards, Rick won awards, William won awards, the paper won awards, and you know, Brene and I live by them. I mean, everything we're
look
going to
here in
tell
my
you,
lap.
our lap
Yes.
is full of the Cleveland Daily Banner. So, folks, to all of y'all over there at the Banner, thank you so much. You do a great job, and we really do appreciate
And
you.
congratulations.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm going to kick off with telling you that on Saturday, August the 4th, Mount Olive Ministries is going to have a school supply giveaway from 11 until 1. They have free lunch. They have inflatables. They have a bicycle giveaway. So if you need school supplies, go over there. And also then the Refuge Community Center is having their 3rd annual school supply provisions, and that is also Saturday, and it's from 2 to 4 at Blythe, and that's at Blythe Avenue, and it's $1 for a backpack full of supplies. So if you need school supplies, go to either of those and get your school supplies.
Yes, very good, very good. And today is Thursday, and you know what that is. You can go get your fresh veggies
I need to
over
do that
at
this afternoon.
Yes, well, or you can, when we leave here, you can go over to Peerless and check them out, and then check out what they've got at the First Street Square.
Right, and then Urbane Road.
Yes, Urbane Road. Lots and lots of good
Yes,
stuff,
yes.
especially since it's been raining.
I know.
Oh, Lord, my grass sure has been growing.
Has it now? All
Sure
right.
has, but that's what it takes. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of fresh fruits and veggies out there, and flowers and
feather
crafts
fans and all kinds of things.
everything there. So
Yeah.
okay.
And August the 4th and 5th are Cherokee Days at Red Clay, and I'm going to try to get Aaron or someone from over there to come in with us next week and tell us about Cherokee Days.
Yes, that
because
would be
they
very
need
good.
to talk to us about that. And you all know, see, Red Clay, that's another. We try for it not to be the best kept secret, but sometimes that happens.
We have lots of best kept secrets.
We do,
around
and we
here,
try not
it's
to.
Not our fault.
It's
we
not.
are telling
It's
you
not.
about them, folks.
That's right.
Okay, last minute, don't forget 5 Points Arts Festival, July 28th and 29th. Saturday is indoor, outdoor, 10 to 6. Sunday is over at the museum.
In their backyard.
Yeah, in their backyard, and that's 11 to 5. Says 35. Isn't there 45? Didn't she say?
Oh, I think that we
There's-
may be at 50 now.
we have
vendors.
a plethora. We have a plethora
plethora
of
artists.
Yes, and they can take arts for kids and food vendors and live music and lawn games and the 1924 American La France fire truck exhibit.
Absolutely.
So Don Ledford is the sponsor for that.
Absolutely, and the thing about that, the wonderful thing about that is that on Friday night, museum members can go
Yes.
to a membership
Pre-show.
party, pre-show, but if you're not a museum member, you can pay $10 and go to the pre-show, and the same artist will be there.
Yes.
And then the Saturday events are over in my backyard, behind the Red Ribbon
Yeah,
on First Street
Square,
with
yeah.
the children's events and everything, and then the vendors, the artists will be back at the museum. And then Sunday, Catch a Bite for
Yes.
lunch, and the Catch restaurant, Catch Bar and Grill, is going to have a catfish meal and also their Hawaiian chicken salad, which is wonderful.
Yes.
Meal, all the fixings and the drink for $10.
And you just can't beat that.
You cannot.
folks.
So after
That is-
church
yes.
Sunday, go over there and eat.
Yeah, and you know the Cracker Barrel will not miss you one Sunday.
No, they will not. What else you got, gal?
Okay, this Saturday, we also have Foothills Country Fair that starts Thursday,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes, the 26th.
But also, you know me and the dogs. Pals.
That's today. It starts today.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling
Okay.
you, I can't keep up with what day it is
No, I know
anymore.
it. I know it.
Retirement's just
It's
a downhill
there's
slide.
something about it, isn't it?
I know. Anyway, Pals is having a dog show this Saturday. It's at 2 o'clock, and they'll have prizes and awards for best trick, most unique looking mutt, shortest dog, tallest dog, best costume, most looks like owner. I love those. I love those. And it's $5 per entry, and it goes to help their spay and neuter program. So y'all get out there and enter. Okay, if you have a question or to do, I think you can sign up there, but anyway, it's 284-9805. That's Jennifer. You can call her, and she'll give you more information about that. I think those are so cute.
And I've already taken my cross stitch out there, and I've already taken my quilted wall hanging out there.
Ooh.
I did that Tuesday afternoon, and you know, I don't know whether I'll win anything or not, but I just thought it was great. I was excited about it. And let me tell you all that little Miss Ashley Hill that we had on with us, who was Cleveland, Bradley County's distinguished young woman, came in first runner-up in the state pageant, and I was so proud of her, and I think that's great. And Ashley, you did us really, really proud. So thank you, gal, for being willing to represent us out there.
Yes. And the adult summer reading program will run through August the 15th. This is at the library, and Night at the Museum will be shown on July 31st at 7 p.m. That's a movie.
Yes, Night at the Museum.
Night at the Museum. And
what a hoot.
Yes, and the career coach will be in the library parking lot Monday from 9 to 3. Oops, there we go again. Is it coming back? Or this was Sunday's paper. Never mind. I think I saw it yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big thing.
Well, if you pass the library and there's this big thing sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's a big like van, RV type thing.
Yes.
And it has graphics on it, but I forget what they are.
But that's your
I
career
knew it was
coach.
the career coach.
Oh, okay.
So if it comes
obvious.
back,
All right,
oops, I
very good.
goofed. Never
now,
mind.
I'm going to give you a little plug for Broad Street Church again. Fifth Sunday is this Sunday, and Etta Nicole is going to be at our church. She is at Sierra Leone, and she has been through trials and tribulations, et cetera, et cetera. She came to Cleveland, lived with some of our folks here, and went to school at Tennessee Wesleyan, and got a master's degree at UTC, and went back over to Sierra Leone, and she's established some schools, and she's had to escape because of war and all it's just awful things. But anyway, she'll be at our church Sunday morning at all 4 services, and then she'll also, during the Sunday school hour, be talking about the trials and tribulations she has gone through and the successes she's had. So if you'd like to come, we start at 8:30, and just come and do whatever. And then Sunday night, we're going out to Johnston Woods, and start at 4 o'clock with games, and 5 o'clock with hamburger and hot dogs.
Cool.
And anybody's invited to come. And if you want to bring a side dish that goes with that, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Come on anyway. And then Vespers at 5:30, and then Acoustic Mayhem. A band
Sounds like
will
fun.
be playing. And so the public's invited to come out to Johnston Woods, and you can call 476-5586. That's Broad Street. Or as
She knows the
Skip
phone
said, I do
number
now.
now.
I do now. And as Skip said, you can Google it up and Johnston Woods and get the directions down there. So we hope everybody will show up at Johnston Woods.
Yes, everybody. Okay, July 28th, that's this Saturday, the Athens Chamber of Commerce Annual Benefit Dinner will be at Tennessee Wesleyan College. It's $25, and it will honor the 1998 national champion UTK Vols football team. Speakers will be Al Wilson and Peerless Price and former coach Phil Fulmer.
Fulmer. There you go. Okay. Atta girl.
Sorry, Phil.
Atta
Okay. And for more information, call 423-745-0334. So that ought to be pretty good.
And don't forget, if you want to early vote, today is Thursday.
Yes.
It ends Saturday. That's day after tomorrow, Saturday, the 28th. And you can vote from 9 to 4 on Saturday, or from 9 to 6 tomorrow and 9 to 6 today. So if you want to early vote, you better haul it on down there wherever you're going to go. The Election Commission office at the old post office, the North Satellite at Brady Square Mall, or the South Satellite at the Bilo Shopping Center.
We just can't talk today.
I cannot. I didn't have
It's
enough
too
coffee
early.
yet. Okay.
Okay. Westwood Baptist Church presents gospel singing Sunday at 6 p.m. and everyone is invited, and you can get more information at www.westwoodlife.org.
There's a .org.
There's a .org. Yes, everyone's invited.
Okay, keep going. I've run
you're
out.
through. Oh, here, I have a whole bunch of stuff. You want to do that one?
Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah, I will. Okay. Bradley Cleveland Fall Sports Registration, cheerleaders and football ages 7 to 12, and baseball and softball 5 to 9, and Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow from 6 to 8 at the Bradley County Recreation Park behind the YMCA. So get out there and register if you want to participate in any of these.
Yes, and I have another dog thing. You know me, I have gone to the dogs. Anyway, the Chattanooga Kennel Club has a fun match, and Nancy was going to talk about it, but we got off on too many things.
Well, Winston was
Winston
just
was
too
too
cute.
cute.
Just too cute.
So I told her I would, she gave me
Okay.
this, and I told her I would talk. Anyway, all dogs are welcome. It's going to be at the Tri-State Exposition Center, and that's going to be Saturday, August the 4th. And all dogs are welcome, purebreds, rare breeds, mixed breeds. There's confirmation class, and the following classes for puppies 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and then 1 to 6-year-old adults and 6-year-old and above senior dogs. There'll be a free handling class. And anyway, for more information, you can call Mary Minozzi at, email her, MENOZI47@prodigy.net. So anyway, and food and drinks will be available. Anyway, it sounds like a really fun.
It does sound like fun.
Yes.
And one more quick one before we have to say goodbye. About 60% of the United Way annual dinner tickets have sold. John Smoltz is going to be the speaker. So if you are interested in a ticket, you need to call the United Way office and get your ticket to hear John Smoltz. And it looks like we have pretty much
filled up your calendar.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
And folks, great to see you, and we will be back with you next Thursday. So
Yes.
have a great and careful and safe weekend.
And
See
keep
ya.
cool.
Oh gosh, yes.
Please, please. Yes.